Look, if you guys think I'm really going to be doing this entire review with a hand puppet next to me, you're sorely mistaken. Oh, come on! I can provide insightful commentary about this movie! Yes, that would be true, except for the fact that I stink at puppetry, I can't do ventriloquism to save my life, and you're honestly not real. That hurts. Plus, it's beneath me to rely on these cheap gimmicks. Really? The top 10 list wasn't cheap? Putting that emoji movie at number 1? Okay, you're done here. Don't make me go back down there, no! Why do all hand puppets sound like Mr. Bean? Anyway, fact of the matter is, guys, Happytime murders, if that little opening wasn't a telltale clue, or the title. So, the primary purpose of a movie, especially a comedy movie, is to make you enjoy it, and in the comedy sense is to make you laugh, and this movie will be 50-50. Why it's got a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes? I can tell you this right now. This is the raunchiest, darkest, weirdest comedy I have seen in a while. And to be honest, it goes against most of the molds I've seen from the stereotypical movies, because you can predict some of the stuff that's going to happen in this, but I guarantee you are not prepared for some of the stuff you see. Like, you think the trailers get you ready? Nope. A cow, a falcon, and a tentacle monster walk into a shoe. Yeah. You think you're ready for this. I ain't ready for this. I wasn't ready for this, and we'll probably still be talking about this at therapy for the next week. So, the primary premise of this movie. Melissa McCarthy and the detective Philip, kind of ironic because I'm currently watching Kamen Rider W, where the primary detective in that's named Philip, so nice parallel here, which is going to make watching that series really hard now, but whatever. So, Melissa McCarthy is in this playing basically Melissa McCarthy. And I kind of have a love-hate relationship with her. Any fan of this site, if there are any fans, could possibly tell I have a strong pin shot for hating Ghostbusters 2016. And what Melissa McCarthy did throughout that entire debacle is kind of why I have a sour feeling towards her. Now, I didn't like her in The Heat, but I liked her in Spy. Didn't like her in Ghostbusters and for everything she did. But, taking my personal feelings out of her, this is actually a really good film for her, and she does a good job in it. She gets back to her roots, which is basically being an insult comic and just being over the top and crazy. And in a room full of puppets, or Muppets, depends on which version you see, because they actually do have some puppets and Muppets. It's kind of funny watching her fight these things that literally we should be able to defeat with just one punch. So, it's fun. And Philip, the primary detective in this, is a hard-boiled detective. He's got the whole noir skit. He even narrates to himself. And you think that joke would get old, but unlike some situations, they actually know when to play it straight and when to have a good laugh with it. And they have a pretty hilarious moment with it where about halfway through the film, he starts narrating and then just stops. So, you kind of have to think, is he narrating to himself the entire time, or is he really playing this back in hindsight? You never really get that answer, but it's funny to think about. And the comedy in this is, like I said, hit or miss. Judging by Rotten Tomatoes, most of the people are saying no to this, and I can't blame them. This is raunchy and crazy, over the top, and really cringeworthy, but, you know, I like that. I like seeing something new in the comedical sense. Like, don't get me wrong, while I mentioned I don't like politics and movies and stuff, if you're able to make a good political joke in it, I laugh my butt off about this. And this film, while not having any politics in it, well... okay, yeah, it's political as all get up because they basically treat the Muppets and puppets as second-class citizens. So, yeah, there's a bit of feltism, I guess you could call it in this case. And it doesn't really get addressed throughout the movie, it's just there and people are giant jackasses. So, it's a little bit of, I guess you could say commentary for the current day and age, but I think that's even a bit of a stretch for my take. And, yeah. Besides all that, it kind of plays into the role. The jokes fall with it. It's really kind of enjoyable. The problem is, and I stress this enough, do not take your kids to see this movie. It'll scar them for life. Once again, a cow, a falcon, and a tentacle monster walk into a... See, while I say I will never say any swear words or anything inappropriate besides that one Tyler Perry movie, you called her a... Yes, I happen to call his daughter the B word, and I still try to maintain as clean as possible. At least FCC friendly, since YouTube is now going on a massive crusade to take out anyone they don't like. Unless their names are Neil Sarkeesian, the Young Turks, or anyone who happens to dislike Ben Shapiro. He ain't wrong. Nope. So, YouTube, in case you happen to find this, somehow do, because apparently you've been sending my videos around to people I don't even know. So, yeah, apparently that's happening. I also getting cease and desist orders for a couple of comments from Death of a Nation. They called you many hateful things that I had to delete. Yeah, I figured I would have to address that eventually because of all the comments. Once again, guys, I don't care what you say in my comment section, just please keep it clean. I don't need freaking warnings and all that stuff. Regardless, though. So, is this movie good? I enjoyed it. I laughed more at this than most of the comedies I've seen in a while, and in all honesty, this might end up on my top 10 list because a lot of this year has been nothing but average. I would put this above average because even though it's the same shtick we've seen over and over again, the puppet trend on it actually is pretty interesting, and the puppetry and the actual ventriloquist that go into it is really good. And I would actually recommend sticking around for the ending credits, at least for the first half, just because they show you how they did all the puppetry and all the craziness, and they have, I guess you could call it a blooper reel, where just random stuff happens. So, it's actually kind of fun and enjoyable, and it's been a while since I've been able to sit back and watch a really fun, enjoyable movie. Besides The Meg. The Meg was enjoyable because it was just B-grade schlock. This is the first comedy I've seen in a while, I think since Deadpool, in all honesty, that legitimately made me just sit back and laugh for a good bit. I wasn't side-splitting, and honestly, this humor might not be for you. But if you like the dark and the raunchy, you'll really enjoy this thing. Do you need to see it in theaters? Not really. A matinee is definitely worth the price of admission, though, in my honest opinion. And definitely a rental, Redbox, Netflix. Definitely things going to end up on HBO, I can promise you that, because, little known fact, this was made by Jim Henson's son, if I remember reading the title correctly. So, literally, he turned Sesame Street into that. So, it's kind of hilarious. And actually, it gets really morbid when you start to think of the puppets as actual people, because one of them gets, like, destroyed, like, ripped limb from limb. And when you see it, it's kind of just, like if you think of it as a human, it sends your skin crawling. It's really just nasty. But once again, I kind of like that humor, so far be it for me to say it's not for everybody. And I know some people will be saying this, oh, you happen to like this movie, but you hate Medea. Thank you, Handy. It's alright. Yes. The difference between this and a Medea film, and I'll get to that in a second, is the fact that a Medea film has the same jokes over and over and they never change it up. Case in point, I have a Wii card, I'll smack a B word, I'll whoop her butt, I'm a pimp, I'm a shoot her, I'm a smack ya, I'm a dude. That's literally it. You sprinkle some variants throughout, and then, just horrible other things you don't want to see. And basically, you get a Medea film. This film, on the other hand, you basically get some of the similar jokes, the puppet racism and everything in this thing, and the overly blatant sexism and just craziness, or sex in general. But the one difference here is, they do it in a creative way so that each time you see it, it's different. Like, when he does swing by a specific shop, it ain't just, oh, it's puppets gone wild. No, like, they're doing some weird stuff and some weird things that probably exists on the internet that I don't want to see and you shouldn't look up. It'll scar you for life. Thank you. So, yeah, basically, it'll scar anybody for life. My advice to you is, be prepared to see some stuff you weren't prepared to see. I can tell you this right now, I can tell you what's in this movie, and if I told me this, I would have thought you're crazy, but this is something you have to see to believe. Once again, not needed for a full price. Honestly, a matinee, and this thing is perfect. It's only an hour and a half long, an hour 50 with trailers, and oh god, the trailers for this movie. They didn't know what to put in front of it. We got Assassination Nation, Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, The Nun, and then Tyler Perry's Legit, or Let It Ride, or whatever that new one is where the woman gets catfished. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, so like 4 completely different movies for this movie, so meh. Oh well. all honesty, guys, the reason why I'm rambling on this is because I actually did have a good time, and I do want to get across that this is one I really think you should see. Even if it's not your type of humor, give it a shot. You'll be able to tell after the first 20 or so minutes whether or not you enjoy this. Or who knows, maybe somebody would have leaked the clips on YouTube at this point, so take it for what you will. Would have shot the 50th subscriber video, except the last week I was not feeling well. 100-degree fever! Yeah, you ain't wrong. I'm so delirious I now think this thing is actually real. You mean I'm not? No, you're not. No. Yeah, I'm just happy to be back in full health and watching all these wonderful movies again. I don't know what's coming out next week, guys. I didn't check the docket, so who knows? Maybe I might see something that comes out next week. Maybe I might go see Axel, which apparently some people are talking about, and not in the good way. Who knows? Leave a comment below, see what you guys would want me to see. I want to get a little more feedback from you guys, so if there's a specific movie you want me to see, let me know. I might shoot a review on it. Anyway, guys, as always, this is Kevin Riley, and I'm Handy, telling you all to have a good night, and later. This is the dumbest bit I've ever done. Really? Really? Is it the dumbest thing you've ever done? You saw the My Little Pony movie and Teen Titans Go. You have no right. This is going to be on friggin' YouTube for a long time, isn't it?